No, it's been a crazy month for CS2 investing when it comes down to one specific area most importantly, and that's going to be what we see for our major capsule market and our major items in general. Obviously, we've talked a lot about this Evil Geniuses hollow right here, but it brings up a very important problem that's been happening inside of CS investing, and especially inside of this area specifically that we haven't focused in on, and that's going to be the sheer supply of these. Now, obviously, there is not that many Evil Geniuses hollow for sale, but if we want to look at the Stockholm capsule for the Legends, which is the one that it comes from, we can see that there was just 1,000 listed on the market just a couple days ago, and now there's 5,000. That's a 5x in the theoretical quote-unquote supply for this capsule, and that brings up two major issues. The first one is obviously going to be trying to take that Steam market listing amount as any sort of number that really has any value at all, because it doesn't. There can be thousands upon millions of these capsules sitting in storage units that you will never know about. But more importantly, it comes from the over-investification of CS2. Now, obviously, I'm a CS2 investing channel. It's what I do inside of this. I present the data for you and we make a decision based off that. But because so many people have now gotten into this space, people are going for riskier and riskier investments in order to try and get the gains that you could have seen 5 years ago. And while this does impact every market, the market that has really been oversaturated because of this is the major capsule market, and that's exactly what I want to break down what's going on inside of it right now. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now the major market is a very interesting one because of one main reason, and that's going to be the fact that whatever you buy right now, you can theoretically buy it again, but slightly different in 6 to 8 months. That's because we have a major consistently going on twice a year, and therefore because of that, your item that you're investing into right now theoretically is going to be only in the major spotlight for just a couple months. That's because we've got new items coming up. It's exactly why when I talk about souvenir packages as a whole, traditionally they have turned out to be not the greatest investment. Some of them have gotten lucky, some of them have gone up in profit, but it's not a guarantee by any means just because it's a discontinued item. Because they are consistently coming out, consistently being reproduced, there is a very fine amount of really demand that can go around inside of this area, and that's exactly what we run into all across the board. Souvenir packages are usually the first to take it on because they are the exact same from major to major, but the major capsules themselves are also in a position now where we're starting to see some of that bleed over. Now, why exactly does something like this matter right now? It actually matters a lot right now because of one specific major in general, and that's going to be Paris. Now, Paris was very influential in a lot of different ways. Obviously, we know it as the most overinvested major, but it also was the major capsule that destroyed all major capsules. That's because if we want to look at the prices of Stockholm and Antwerp beforehand, they were on a huge run before. They were going up massive amounts. People were making tens of thousands of dollars off these capsules, and then they crashed overnight because Paris came out, and they truly to this day have never really recovered. That's very important to note because this is one of the only areas inside of CS investing that your investment theoretically could go down so much because more competition came out. The new case comes out, you're not going to see old rare case prices go down, but with major capsules, it's a very susceptible area. There is so much competition inside of this already saturated area, and although it's not ideal, that amount of competition isn't necessarily the huge problem. The huge problem comes from the fact that the perceived safety of these investments specifically is extremely high. People believe, but because they're priced at a 25-cent peg, it's not going to be going below that. Obviously with Paris, we saw that it can go below that, but it's very unlikely. The problem is if we want to look at a capsule that's past its 25-cent price point, the odds that it goes down are not zero, especially if we want to look at a lot of circumstances here. It's very possible capsules can stagnate out, they can go below that 25-cent price point. The biggest problem inside of this area is the perceived safety of a major capsule investment in today's age. It's very possible that almost all of these capsules can go down from the price points they're at right now because they are in demand right now. It doesn't mean that these capsules are going to be like rare cases where they shoot up in price, lose maybe 10 or 15%, and then shoot up in price again. It's not built like that. The major capsule market is not equivalent by any means. Now, what exactly does something like this mean? Well, first up, obviously, CS2 investing is a very risky area to begin with. We know that we're investing into a digital asset inside of a game that's dependent on growing or at least sustaining for people to have sustained interest in everything that we're investing into for the majority of items. With that being said, the biggest problem that comes along with this is the fact that people don't realize that major investments are very risky and they're not like the rest of the market at all. Your demand can die out tomorrow. It's something we've seen time and time again. Think of how many major stickers shot up in price and nearly really lost all interest afterwards. It comes down to the fact that this is a very supplied area, and because the demand is so inconsistent, we can have very big swings, but we can also have very big droughts, and that's something we saw for the major capsule market a lot over the past year. It's just been the past month or two that we've really seen the interest overall, generally speaking, pick up. If we want to look at a lot of these Stockholm, Antwerp capsules, we can see that the majority of them were not growing at anywhere close to what we've seen over the past month, and therefore it's very important that you do realize something like this is extremely volatile. Now, coming to the question of how you can find the best CS2 investment inside of the major capsule market. Now, the major capsule market has one significant advantage over the rest of the areas, and that's going to be the fact that we know exactly what's going on inside of the application numbers. We've got all the different pieces of data from all the different majors, and it's one of my favorite things about the major capsule market is if you've got an interest in investing into Copenhagen, Shanghai, Antwerp, Stockholm, even Rio, you've got a lot of different pieces of data that you can pull from and figure out exactly which capsule you want to invest into, which sticker potentially you want to look at, what's really going on right now inside of this area. Is it an area of high demand, low demand, or no demand? It's a very piece of crucial information that is the best area, honestly, when we're talking about things the major capsule market has going for it. You've got all the data, and it's something I would 1,000 times suggest you check out fully before you make an investment into it. You can see all the data in the background right now for whichever major you want. It's extremely important that you look at this, and it's one of the best and most significant advantages you can get by investing a little bit later is having this data and knowing which ones to go for. Now, generally speaking, what are the investments you are going to want to avoid? Well, first up, it's going to be nearly every single autograph capsule. It's traditionally not something we see blow up almost ever, and that's honestly what you're really investing for when you're buying into the major capsule market. You're looking for something that's going to explode. The autograph capsules are almost always worse compared to the regular sticker capsules unless we see a very big oversupply for the majority of that major. I would say avoid autograph capsules traditionally unless you see something super specific about one autograph capsule that's really pulling you towards it. Otherwise, souvenir packages are extremely hit or miss, but the ones that almost always miss are going to be the ones that don't have a covert skin. No one's unboxing these old collections, no one wants the skins inside of it, and therefore you're really betting on the fact that no one else redeemed these packages, which is just always not the case. I would avoid these ones, especially if they've only got a pink at the top. Now, what's the most important thing about all of this? It comes down to the fact that just because an item is discontinued or not currently being produced, that doesn't necessarily guarantee it's going to be a great investment. Now, over time, if we're talking about a 20-year period, almost all of these items are going to go up provided the game is still played and obviously in demand during that time, but you're making a lot of assumptions. There's a lot better items out there for you to put your money into, and remember the opportunity cost. If we sit in Paris for a whole year and the price is still the exact same when cases and everything else has doubled or tripled, we theoretically have made a bad investment even if we did not lose money. It's very important that you do realize not everything is going to be a winner, but you can avoid some of these losers by just using data and playing it smart. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.